1, Truss and Legs. This is video 1 in the Transverse Screed setup series. The videos should be watched in order and the procedures shown should be performed in the same order. During these steps, the carriage and all attachments should be installed and the carriage positioned in the center of the truss span. The screed should be placed on the rails at the proper skew. The specifications allow for pours with skews between 75 degrees and 105 degrees to be poured at 90 degrees to center line. Skews outside this range must be poured on skew. If there is a crown in the deck, the joint of the truss should be placed directly over the crown point. Next, the truss should be squared. This is done by measuring between the carriage rail and the screed rail and adjusting the legs until the measurement at all four legs are equal. The legs are raised and lowered by turning the cranks at the top of the legs. One complete turn raises or lowers the machine 1/4 of an inch. Next, the truss frame should be straightened. It is not vital that the truss frame be perfectly straight, since the carriage will ride on the carriage rail, which will be straightened later. Sighting down the truss frame is a sufficient check. The truss frame is adjusted with a crown bolt at the top joints of the truss sections. The carriage rail is the interior rail which the carriage rides on. This is adjusted to a string line. There are eye bolts in each of the four corners of the truss. 2 strings are tied to them and pulled as tight as possible along the length of the truss. 5 2x6 blocks are used in this process. One is placed between the carriage rail and the string line in each corner. The carriage rail adjustment lock bolts should be loosened approximately a half a turn. The contractor should now take the 5th 2x6 block and check the carriage rail at each carriage rail adjuster. The rail should be adjusted so that the block just barely touches the string. These adjustments are important since the carriage rail determines the cross section of the deck. Once all adjustments are made, the carriage rail adjuster lock nuts should be retightened. A final check can be made by holding a 10-foot straight edge up to the carriage rail to look for any remaining deviations. At this point, the screed is properly positioned on the screed rail, the truss is squared, and the carriage rail is straightened, and you're ready to proceed to video 2 of this series.